Yeah, it's a numbers game. We have the smallest margin in U.S. history. We'll have a margin of probably 2 votes tomorrow during that, so can only afford to lose 1 or 2. But I think we'll get it done. I really do, Lawrence. I've talked to every single one of those friends and colleagues over the holidays. We'll be talking about process reforms inside the House, and I've encouraged all of them, and I think the reason they're all going to vote yes is this. We're shifting into a brand new paradigm. We have unified government that begins tomorrow.
Speaker Mike Johnson in a major battle to stay as House Speaker. That fight starts tomorrow. Reports coming in, 15 to 17 House Republicans oppose Speaker Johnson to staying in the post, including conservatives led by Representatives Chip Roy and Tom Massey. Joining us now, New York Congressman Mike Lawler. Where do you come down on Speaker Johnson? Congressman, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you spending time with us tonight. I mean, Speaker Johnson can lose only 1 vote if all members participate. President Trump wants Speaker Johnson. Where do you come down on it?
Well, Liz, first, Happy New Year and a very happy birthday to you. I support Speaker Johnson. Look, this is not about any one individual. It is about the collective here. The American people gave us a House Republican majority, along with a Senate Republican majority, and a landslide victory for President Trump to get to work on their behalf on the issues that are most acutely impacting them and their families, from the economy to the border to energy to the international crises around the globe. We can't do any of that if we don't elect a speaker. What is most important on Monday is to certify President Trump's election. And if we don't have a speaker, we can't do that. So it's time for everyone to put their big boy pants on, stop the personal petty grievances. Yes, there are differences of opinion at times, which are totally legitimate. And yes, the process can be very frustrating for all of us. But we have a responsibility to work together as one team to get things done on behalf of the American people. And I'll be very clear, as I was just the other day, if my colleagues think somehow by blocking Speaker Johnson and grinding the House to a halt, that they're going to get a better deal, they're not. And I and others are not going to bend to their will on this. So it is important that we get about the business of the American people, that we work together as a team, and that we be ready for when Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th president on January 20th.
Are House Republicans and conservatives against Johnson, are they coming around to your point of view? Because we understand there is a new rule that will make it harder to oust a speaker. It will build a new threshold. It will require a member of the majority party, meaning the Republicans, and 8 additional members of the same party sign on to the motion to vacate, to remove the speaker. Are House Republicans coming around to your point of view?
Look, I think we are building consensus. And again, the objective here is to recognize none of us are going to get everything we want. As I've said many times, anybody who's ever been married knows you have to find compromise. And that's what we have to do. So, look, we have continued to have dialogue throughout the 118th Congress and in the lead up to this 119th, including lifting the motion to vacate from 1 to 9. And that was agreed upon just a few weeks ago by everybody in the conference.
Okay. Congressman Lawler, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Appreciate you very much.
Thanks, Liz. All the best.